Sounds okay.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're kicking it with Rob and my boy Angry Quad.
Shake it up, bitches.
C5, C6, T10, car accident. And my boy Angry Quad.
C456 fell on my stupid head.
So, we're talking about exercising today.
Man, that's a perfect one, actually. I whooped my own ass today, kid. When I spoke to you before, I was explaining that I got on the floor a little bit and I was pushing a little bit harder. Well, actually, who am I kidding? I've been pushing pretty hard over the last month, dealing with a lot of oblique training and stuff like that. And I just, I hour and 40 minutes on the floor. Then I got my fat ass off the floor. Tell me if the lighting over here is all fucked up.
Yeah, I did
Yeah, what?
PT the other day. So, I was on the floor, or on the mat, as you can say, working on my shoulder.
Am I echoing now?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
So, I like being on the floor.
Dude, when you're training on the floor, much like we were talking about before, one second. When you're at PT
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and you're on the mat, on the table, it's. I mean, you're on the floor, just not on the floor, and you have the ability to move around a little bit more, and it's one of those things where you know you're responsible for your movement, and you can actually move without the fear of falling off of something. So it's just simply one of those, it allows you to do, gives you a little bit more freedom. That's the one thing that I found.
Yeah, I was working with a therapist. She didn't really like me moving around too much. For some reason, she tried to keep a hold of me with the belt and everything else. I'm like, let me go at this.
Yeah,
I want to do my thing.
absolutely.
So, what kind of training were you doing on the floor today?
Oh, geez. What was I doing today? I was stretching hamstrings. I was doing dips, which is tricep strengthening. I was doing push-ups on the bolster. I was doing planks. I was oblique training. I was more oblique training. I was doing back extensor training, a lot of strap training. I was doing windshield wipers with the legs up with the strap on the neck. I'm doing a video on that, so I'll have that ready to go in a little bit.
Yeah, I want to get one of these right here, one of these bolsters, like it's up on the screen.
Yeah, dude, I have one of those. That was the next part.
Yeah, I mean, I used it at your house. Oh my God, I remember that day.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing.
Well, one of the things I actually do with that is if anybody's ever watched any of the videos that I do as far as it pertains to floor training, what I like to do with that is I will take that, I put it behind me, and I put it between my shoulder blades. One sec, I don't know what the hell is this over here. One sec, let me just check this out over here. I don't know what the hell this is. Okay. I put it behind me. It goes between my shoulder blades, And then from there, I do the the dumbbells with the don't hit yourself in the face tape, and I'll do whatever it is. But the fact that if your ass is here and your back up is and your back is here because the bolster's here, and then if you're doing dumbbells, not only do you have to take care of the dumbbell situation, but at the same time you have to hold your body steady in that position. So if you're doing the flies, I mean, I like to crush the flies, and I'll do like presses. I'll do tricep extensions, and then from there I like to do what I call the angels, and I'll come around and I'll crisscross and come back down. But it's just the bolster works out really well for that.
Yeah,
Then
like
after that, well, I'm sorry, what?
I like doing push-ups with it.
Oh yeah,
I
where you
love
push
doing
off the
push-ups with
bolster
it.
itself.
Yeah.
Oh, badass, dude! I fucking crushed that today, big time.
Yeah, I love the bolster.
Sorry, dude. If I seem a little punchy right now, I beat my ass for over 2 hours today. I had one of my boys here a little while ago. I wolfed down probably like 4 fucking beers, and I'm like, well, I'm sleeping. I just ate real quick, and I'm like, I don't think I'll make it till like 8 o'clock tonight. I'll be gone.
So you just wiped out today then?
Oh, it's not even today. It's just been the last couple weeks, man. Last couple weeks, I decided that I got to get back into my beach body. Look at this thing. This is killing me. I'm trying to work on that. But
Oh, the old quad
look at my
cut.
beach body. Say what?
The old quad cut.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Glad you guys all make it in the chat. Yeah, love you guys.
Who showed up today? What do we got over here?
But
Oh, the fluke kid. Oh,
I like
Leah.
the weights that we use are
Okay.
with the Gorilla Tape, our custom weights.
Okay.
Yeah, like set of them wrapped up in tape makes a great workout.
Dude, I gotta tell you, when you were here, we had spoken about, the way I set up the weights with the duct tape on it and stuff like that. But you actually turned that into a science where
Gorilla
I just
Tape.
sort of grabbed the tape and I just slapped it on. And I was like, all right, this worked for me. But you actually took the time to actually measure a few things, and you put it into like a way that it's the only thing I can say is a little bit more scientific, and you made it much more user friendly, and actually something that if somebody has no idea what you're dealing with, that they in turn could mimic what you did in order to come up with the same thing.
I do have to wrap them up another time because they are getting loose from all the use that I've been.
You use them, dude.
Yeah, I got the 5 pounds and the 8 pounds done like that.
I got a set of 7-pounders right now that I've been bitching and moaning for like the last, I don't know, 3 months that I got to actually deal with, and I'm just like, I'll get to it in a minute.
It's
The
much.
minute turns into an hour, and the hour turns into Thursday.
Yeah. Them 8-pound weights, man, they hammer me. They are heavy.
What are you dealing with?
My custom 8-pound weights.
Oh yeah, dude. I got 5, 7s, and 10s, and when I'm doing the ball, and I'm doing the punches, every now and then I'll play with the 10s, but it's once again, neither those aren't taped up either. So it's just like, I've dropped them a few times. Not working for me.
I like doing the kettlebell too. That's one of my faves.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the videos you do with the kettlebells. No, it's good stuff, dude. You know what? It's real simple. It's just training. You know, you have to move. If you don't move, you're not gonna move. And if you're not gonna move, I think I said this a million times. Dig the hole. What are you gonna do? It's just you gotta go, man.
I I hit the tower yesterday doing
Really?
resistant bands,
Okay.
and I'm doing the black bands, the blue bands, and the green bands. I don't know
Okay.
what weights or resistance they are,
Well,
but
doesn't matter. Typically, if you look at the girth, that'll give you an idea. I don't really know. Did you go Black Mountain Performance or Black Mountain Performance?
I think whatever you suggested is, I
Yeah,
think,
there's a little tag on there that'll give you an idea what it is. Well, I know I got the ones that I have that little thing that says whether it be 10 pounds. That be said, there's something you have to understand. If I'm dealing with a resistance band like I'm doing rows, if I'm doing it right from here, that's one weight thing. But if you back up, the resistance increases.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah. So,
yes,
it gives you an idea what it is, but then you don't really know exactly what it is when you're backing up. I don't know what the formula is to figure that out because there's got to be like a resistance times distance and one of those things. I don't know. I'm not that tough guy. So
I use the round bands too, like it's up on this screen, to sit and work in my chair.
oh, what those the flat ones you're talking about
Yeah,
right there? Yeah, I had those for a while. I got rid of them for the actual resistance bands. Those are what do you call those? The straps. I used to snag some of those when I first started at PT over here in Kessler. I had my therapist used to peel me off a couple feet, and because I'm such a stud muffin, I would just break them all the time because they're just not. They're if if that's what you're using, get on it, but you're gonna kill them.
oh
As you
yeah,
go stronger, you're gonna kill them.
yeah,
They snap like nobody's business.
you're absolutely right. I don't know how many of the blue and green ones I've snapped.
Hey, can you read some of those little things down over there? I can't even read them today.
Uh, what's up, guys? Glad to make it to the stream. I don't know what. Always check the girth first.
All right, kid. Let me take. I can share a
He's like,
stream.
let me take a look. So I've been getting these sugar water injections.
Oh, geez. Now the guy's talking about the girth first. Is the thickness of the bands. The skinny ones are rated at this, and the heavier ones and stuff that. Yeah, I agree with that a bazillion percent. I don't know what it is. My eyes are not working today, which is because I'm punchy and stupid. Sugar water injections. Where into the neck thing?
Yeah, I just started that last month. And like I said, I started doing PT again, outpatient, to work on my shoulder. It's a mess. I'm pretty sure it's from using the manual chair.
Very distinct possibility, dude. Manual chairs. It's one of the reasons I'm in this is because my attitude is if there's anything going to happen to any of this, it's not going to be from doing this. It's not going to happen. The technology that we have going on right now, I don't have to deal with this. This thing is killing me. I'm trying to crush it. Technology that we have right now makes it so I don't actually have to do that. I use my manual chair several times a week, but no, I'm not doing it. I mean, not that I can't, but no, ain't happening. But shoulder impingement and problems with shoulders. That's why you want to train, dude. It's exactly why you want to train. Gotta strengthen the rotor cuff, man. The rotator cuff.
Yeah, and it gets atrophy, right?
Today.
If I'm not correct.
Man,
And that can really mess up my shoulder, man. It's like the pain shoots down into my arm like a toothache.
Oh yeah. Well, you have a nervous condition. I don't know if you know this. The whole spinal cord injury interrupts the central nervous system. And, so it's one of those things where, it's, my attitude towards the entire situation with spinal cord injury is that you can only be so nice. You really can only be so nice before, you have to stop being nice and figure, man, this hair is killing me, dude. Hair is killing me. It's got to go. I'm going to cut it off, boo-boo. Maybe that's what we'll do next week.
What's that? Cut your hair?
Yeah. I'll do it live.
Oh no.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if I want to see you doing it live.
Why? What's the problem?
I don't know. Just don't know if. Wow.
No, I'll turn the mic off. As you see me, it's just go. Dude.
Ah man, this week's been long already.
No shit. No shit, brother.
So I took a picture of the Tower of Power.
Okay.
So people can take a look at the tower that we work with. Because yours is the same as mine, of course.
Absolutely.
And I wanted everybody to see. I mean, you made that for me.
I've made many of those bad boys. They're all over the place, dude. Seriously, they've gone global. There's Italy, England, Italy. Where's the other one? Down in South America, Mexico, and plus, I don't know how many I've done in the States here, but it's just.
I know that I got 2 of them.
Want plans?
Well, one of them, and another one somewhere.
Yeah. That's actually a rather interesting story, I must admit. I had sent Bo here a tower many moons ago, and got over to the best of my knowledge, made it to Pennsylvania, and then one of those pirates decided to intervene, and I would love to find out exactly whatever is doing with that whole thing. Because you're absolutely correct. It looks like a coat hack or a coat rack.
And that's what I thought. I was like, somebody got that package and was like, ooh, a new coat rack. Perfect.
I think somebody snapped that shit off your porch, dude. In theory, it was delivered on your porch.
Yeah, but I have a doorbell that shows everybody that comes and goes.
You've had it, 2 years ago?
Oh, I've always had the doorbell.
Oh, okay. There's still a couple things over there. I can't read anything today, dude. I'm like blind. But but might be a question or two you want to check out. See if we do whatever.
Someone said that, oh, we need one of those. The Tower of Power, I think.
You know what? If you play nice with me, you never know. I might even make you one. But at the very least, I'll send you plans. I'll give you an idea how to construct it. But, you know, there's not a massive financial outlay. But, you know, you're dealing with 5/4, 5/4 by 4, 6-foot long piece of either a white oak or red oak or whatever material you want. But I will go over. I think I have multiple videos on making it. Well, like I say, hey, if you want to play nice with the quad, it's a very distinct possibility. I may make you one.
And there is absolutely so many exercises you can do on that thing.
Oh, dude.
It's like endless.
Yeah, you're limited by your imagination. You know, like I said, today, the level of ass whooping I laid down on myself today and have been laying down on myself over the last month, and most of it's coming right out of the tower, dude. Especially with the bands. Oh, I don't even think I brought you up to speed on the pull downs that I do.
No.
And how I set that in. Oh, geez, I haven't done that video in quite some time.
So what do you do?
Well, when you were at the house, you remember when you came into the house? And when you came right in, there was a bit of a vaulted ceiling? Okay. Well, what I did, and I call it the wooden dick, but when there's a little spot on the area that just has a small rectangular piece of 3/4 oak, and there's nothing more than just a piece that comes out and around. So I'll throw resistance bands over that, and I put the loops around my hands. And let's say that I'm like here when I start, I'm able to pull down the bands and just push the chair further like this until I have decent resistance. And then you just do pull downs. Anyway, they're lat pull downs, so they're directly directed towards the lats and the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. And then, you'll go in this direction, and then you crank it up this way, and you're actually doing bicep curls and everything else like that. It's just evil. And I haven't even started with those in like the last month because I don't know if I'm going to survive this shit anymore, dude. I'm 63 years old, bro.
So someone asked,
kicking my own ass.
what is your favorite exercise on it? I know what my favorite one is. I'll go after you.
No, by all means.
All
You're
right.
the ball here, Chief.
So my favorite exercise on the tower is the next exercise. It is the custom thing that you put on your head and you work your neck.
Yeah. The Angry Quad power hat, baby.
Yeah, I actually brought up this because of this. Because with the tower and some of these bad boys and some tape.
Oh yeah, grommets.
You got a heck of a exercise.
If you want, I can go get mine if you want me to show it.
By means. If it's ready right there, grab it. I'll talk for a second.
There. So it's over there by that thing, but you know what? Angry Quad power hat. You'll see exactly how it is, how it works, and how it's made. And it's one of those things. If you have any questions, angryquad@gmail.com. I'll steer you through it. I mean, you were here when I made it.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
Gorilla tape and grommets. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult when you got the one piece and then you got to put the other piece on it and stuff like that. But even still, it's not. It's one of those things One of the things I like to say about some of the stuff that I do is that it's not hard. It's only hard. Which is sort of like an oxymoron, but at the same time, it's rather poignant in the statement. The fact that is, you know, the, 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 the doing isn't difficult, but doing it properly, man, I don't know, fuck, man. Whew. I'm really off my feed today, bro.
So, what is your favorite exercise?
I actually prefer the press downs, the presses, and the flies.
I do
Only
like the
because
press downs.
Yeah, well, they're press downs are the bomb, dude. I mean, think about what we do. You know what I mean? Everything we're doing is, you know, you're
Yeah.
you're doing dips, dude. Get a load of you, you fucking tough guy. Um, but it's that's for transfers. You gotta have these, man. You gotta, even if you don't have them, just try. Keep working at it. And the thing is, one of the things I do like about the press downs is that you don't have to stack bands. I just have four on mine because I regulate the amount of resistance by how far I go away or how far I get close to the tower itself. But you can also regulate that by how many bands you're doing and everything else like that. I mean, you got the spaghetti. That's one thing. When you crank it up to like I don't know what the hell is that extra spaghetti, but it's. But as once the one dude said before, the girth of the bands dictates pretty much how heavy the band is. So whatever, dude. It's a one size fits all, and it's like I don't know, how much you want on your plate. It's all open, but the thing is, it's really, really important. Training is really, really, really important.
Yes.
I will say that I would be fucking dead if I didn't hit the floor early on and started doing, the flat, the straps and everything else like that. No, man, no, 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 no. I mean, I realize that there's different levels and there's different severities, but there's also different levels and different severity of determination. And, we have found ourselves in a situation that is going to take a lot of determination in order to figure out. I don't really know if you want to say to get ourselves out, but at least maybe just make it so it's remotely tolerable to what we have to do. But it's, we don't really, there's not a lot of options, man. There's not a lot of options. I mean, I prefer, anything happens to me, I'm going down swinging, dude. It just is what it is, man.
I mean, after the 2 years in bed and never thinking that I could do anything of the magnitude that I'm doing now is.
Dude. Bo, I got to tell you, from where you were when we first started talking to where you are right now, I'm talking to somebody else I never even met. And when you moved into the house, when at that point in time to where you are now, it's another thing. It's just ridiculous. And that's got nothing to do with, my lead. That's you deciding that, okay, all right, here's where I am. Here's where I want to be.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my starting point. Here's my finish. You may never get to the finish, but as long as you're in the race, dude, because every step you take, every move you make, did I just quote a police song?
Maybe.
Kick my own ass. It's just you gotta go. You can't sit back and watch the world go by, man. No, you gotta be in the fight. You gotta be.
And for everything, it was weird. I want your opinion on this. So, I was told that I should limit my transfers because of
Oh,
my shoulder.
oh, did you get that from who's the guy over what the heck uh, Able and Alive or whatever it is?
No, it's just, I mean, I'm transferring because I want to be independent.
Of course.
So why would I limit my transfers?
Well, you're exerting more, you're putting more pressure on the shoulder, you're pushing up a little bit. And whenever you're doing transfers, there's always the possibility of shit happening. And maybe, something's going to happen where, you don't make it. And next thing you know, you take the elevator down. And so I get it. I get it. What's this guy's name? Oh, for fuck's sake. I know this answer. You know what? I'll leave it alone. Yeah, if he's watching, he knows exactly who I'm talking about because he said the same thing to me.
Oh, but that wasn't him who told me. It was actually my PT.
Really?
Yes.
Did you ask them exactly how do you think I should go about getting from point A to point B?
Well, I had said, I looked at her like, well, how am I going to do that? I've worked so hard to get where I am to be able to transfer. And I set goals like my goal for this year is to get myself off the floor back into my wheelchair.
Oh, dude, I
That's
you
my
know
goal.
as well as I do, I believe that you can absolutely positively do that. I told you when you were here a bazillion years ago, I said, you can do this. And we couldn't figure out how to love angry quads and something spirit life. Yeah, that's right, kids. Um, but no, I wanted to peel you out of that freaking chair and I wanted to throw your fat ass on the floor and I wanted to put you through the paces. But at that time, you didn't have this working yet. And the concern is with Tara was just like, we have to disconnect all this stuff. And I was just like, nah, throw them on the floor. We'll figure it out. What if you can't get them up? Well, then we'll figure out how to get them up. I don't know. Yeah, me, Mayor, Tara, you have little Z here. Let me tell you something. I could have dialed up somebody up and be like, come on, kid, get over here. Peel this prick off my floor. We would have got
Oh,
you off that floor.
and then standing outside your house. Oh my goodness. That's a nice setup too that you created.
Yeah, dude, we can make one of those. You have a corner on your deck.
I have the same deck now. So I wanted to tell people about that. That your custom,
Oh, the Angry Quad standard.
yeah, you pull right up to it. And then you
Yeah.
bust your face off the rail. Because that's what I
Well,
did.
I didn't bust my face on the rails.
Oh, I
You had
did.
that stupid fish hook thing in your face. It was bleeding and half a fig. But even still, I was like this far away, and Tara was like, "Oh my god!" I was just like, "Don't do that." And that was with the cushion. You instead of going like this and hitting your face, you went over here and hit the rail. I have a suggestion. Are you ready?
What's up?
Don't do that.
Nah.
It's a little something. Came from the heart there, Bo. Came from the heart. Trust me, if we get to the point where you're considering the idea of doing that on the deck, by the time I'm done and by the time you're done, it won't happen, man. It won't happen. We'll put a big cushion across the top, but you can't get it too close because you got to be able to grab it and push. So trust me, if you have something in your head, communicate it to me. I'll start scribbling. We'll come up with something, and well, trust me.
I don't think I was standing at that time very
No,
much.
not at all.
I don't think I don't even think I had my standing frame, if I'm correct. Tara, if you're there, correct me. But I don't think I had a standing
No,
frame.
you had nothing. You weren't on the floor. You weren't in the standing frame. You were doing squat, dude. You were doing nothing. I think you maybe well, honestly, I really don't think you were doing anything. You had no idea what the hell you were doing with the tower. You had no idea what the hell you were looking at when I was on the floor. You had nothing. The only thing you were just like, where do I get that bolster? You know, I straddled the bolster and you started touching yourself. You're like, what's up with that? I want to do that. I was like, we will get there. Give us a minute and we will make it so you can do this. You know, it just takes a second or two.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, hard work does pay off. And if you're not failing, you're not trying.
Oh, dude, failure is my favorite thing. Although I must admit, I don't fail that much other than all the time. So you know, I really I can't relate. You know, so it's just one of those things, dude. You know, and you're right. If you're not failing, you ain't trying. And very much like Master Yoda, there is no try, only do. Sorry, dude. I was born and raised on Star Wars.
Oh
I hit
man,
the
it sounds
theater.
just like it too.
Yeah, I know. I hit the theater. I think I was like 12 when the first one came out. I went and I saw that shit 3 times because I was like, this is the most badass thing I've seen in quite some time. Ah, they killed Star Wars. Ah, you guys are killing me. But it's okay.
Do you ever use tens units?
Do I use a what?
Tens units. Anymore.
Hinges?
No, like the units that shock you. Tens.
You know what? I haven't done STEM in quite some time. You know, the last time when I gave you the bike, that was pretty much it for me. You know, it's like, I know, hey, by the way, haven't seen any videos on the bike. No.
Yeah, I gotta pay $150 to that company so they could give me a code.
The fuck out of here with that
No.
bullshit.
That's what they need.
I,
But
you
I
know,
mean, it's cool because I go through my doctor and she'll get the script wrote out so they can then return, make the bike set up for me, is what they're trying to say.
there's a word I'm thinking. It's right on the top of my head for how I can describe this entire situation. Yeah, anything come to mind with you?
Yeah, fuck them.
No, I'm thinking that man, this is some bullshit. The fact that they're holding you hostage for a fucking code. Now, is that code just so they can record your sessions?
Pretty much.
Or
I
are
think
you
that's what they do.
doing that
Is,
shit?
and it makes no sense. And I was like, you know, I want to do over 5 miles because it literally shuts down at 4.9.
That's such bullshit. I used to do 10 to 12 miles a day and I would do double sessions and stuff like that. And that thing will ruin you.
Oh,
Let me look into RTI and see if I have a code and tell them that I moved. And this way you can just leapfrog on that shit.
okay.
I'll do some snooping because I have such a wonderful relationship with those guys. Did I ever tell you the story when I got that bike?
No.
Oh, you're going to love this one, dude. That bike got sent to me. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was like, I don't know, let's just say September or whatever, you know, September 5th. And it was delivered to the house, came in a box this big and all the rest of that stuff. And I called the people up and I was like, all right, I got this box. What are we doing? They were like, all right, we have to schedule for somebody to come over and put it together. I was just like, okay, when is that? And they were like, January or something. It was like over 3 months. And I was like, wait a minute, let me see if I'm understanding something with this. You want me to have a $25,000 piece of equipment in my house? And what if something happens to it? And they said, just go through your homeowners. I was like, oh, do me a favor. Get it out of my house till you get somebody here. I don't want to take on their liability of something happening to this. They're like, no, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not. no, I'm not doing that. They're like, hmm. Now, obviously, you know all the bad videos that I make and everything else like that.
All the terrible ones, right?
Yeah, yeah, really bad, really bad.
Yeah.
Um, I had taken a bunch of pictures when I was at Kessler actually using the bike. And there was no green screen at that point in time. There was nothing. It was just me, with a picture. Well, what I did to expedite the process, which the fact that they were like, yeah, yeah, that looks real. I took a picture of me being on the bike. All I did was take that like mask drawer or whatever it was, and I went and I just slowly cut myself out of this one picture, and I took a picture of my living room. You were there, and I slapped it on this thing, and it was a horrible. I mean, it's not like AI is today. It was SI showing improvement, and I sent them an email. I said, "Don't worry about it. I've taken care of this."
Huh.
Dude, I got like fucking 9 phone calls in like 3 days. They were like, "You can't do that." I was like, "What are you talking about? All the tools are in the box." Because when I talked to them, I was just like, "Well, what tools do they need?" And the one woman was just like, "Oh, no, everything you need to put it together is in the box." And I was like, "You really want to tell me that?" Dude, after that, they had somebody here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they constantly call me and email me. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm really hoping that my doctor can figure out a script that, and like I told the people,
They
they,
should.
I mean, that's a custom bike. It's not like the other bikes. I
No,
mean,
it's the genuine article, dude. I used that thing for years. And I was just like, it just started boring me to tears. I was like, it's great. But even still, it's great for cardio and stuff like that. And like, dude, the legs, but I got the standing frame. I'm always fucking around. I do the crawling,
it's a good
everything.
question. Maybe you can answer it for me.
Okay.
If you use the bike, will you gain more muscle mass, or you just retain the what you have?
Well, in theory, you would gain, but at the very least, which is also a positive, if you just retain, dude. But even still, the legs, you know, the whole body when it's not being used is going to store fat. And one of the things with the legs is that if they don't get used, they wither away to nothing. And you end up with freaking vermicelli for legs once again. The hell is that whole thing over there? What was that? What the fuck is that? I don't know. You read that shit.
Nah, it's probably just
But,
a junk comment.
okay. But, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So, like I said, one of the things I absolutely loved about the bike was, you know, just being there and just moving like that. But after, geez, I don't know, like 3 years, it started boring me to tears, man. Because I'd be strapped to this thing for damn near 3 hours from the time I started. I would start getting hooked up with that. Remember the all the pads that I had made and stuff
Yes.
like that, and the way the little electrical connectors were and everything.
Yeah.
By the time I started getting myself together with that whole thing, and by the time I transferred myself out of my bed into my chair, because I had to put them on when I was in my bed, and when I would get it back in the chair, then get over to the bike, and then get myself hooked into the bike, get my fat ass moving on the bike, take a little 10-minute in the middle between sessions because I would do an hour, and like I said, anywhere from 10 to 12. And then I would give myself about 10 minutes and I would go again, and once again another 10, 12. And from there I'd have to breathe for another few minutes, and then get my fat ass back out of the bike and everything. So it was like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I just found it like, not that it was a waste of time, not by
It's
any stretch of the
it is
imagination.
very time consuming. Getting all
Yeah.
the pads on, making sure everything is
Mhm.
hooked up, that they're not gonna fall off.
Of course.
I mean, it's you're like for me, it takes me almost an hour to get set up to do it.
Yeah, damn near. I would be at least a half hour, 40 minutes. I mean, I had a system down and stuff like that, but regardless, I found that it was cutting into my off the floor training. It was cutting into not just my off the floor, but all the rest of the stuff that I was doing during the day. If I started at like 10, dude, I wasn't done till like almost 2 o'clock. And then from there, yeah, I
I
don't know.
mean, it is nice if you want to pull right up to it in your wheelchair without the pads and just ride.
Yeah, you could do what do they call that? A unassisted or something. I don't
Yeah.
remember what the story was. Yeah, you can slap your feet on there and stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. Uh but even the way that I set up the pedals, it's just one of those things. But you know what, dude? Seriously, talk to whomever. I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can get in touch with RTI. However, I don't know if they're going to do that URL bullshit, but I could be like, no, I've moved out to Pennsylvania. And I want to, what's the problem? Because what? You can't be me and I can't be you? According to who? What?
I mean, we're both quads, so it's
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, a little bit better looking, but that's a story for another day, kid. But, um, but also, I mean, what are we talking about here? We're talking about exercise, the fundamentals, and the reason for exercise. It's very important, dude.
I think diet's very important too, which I
Diet,
need to
yeah.
watch what I eat.
Well, you know what, dude? I'll tell you this. After a couple conversations that I had, my suggestion to you: stay away from Skittles, dude. Stay away from the Skittles, man. They didn't work
Yeah,
out very well. Say, well, all that sweets and stuff like that. There's no value in it. I mean, sugar, you get that little boom, that little pump rush, but it's really it's
I
there's not
usually
really
don't.
value in it.
I usually don't eat it, but they got a whole bunch of we got a whole bunch of freeze dried items, and that was one of them. I mean, I got strawberries, bananas. I do eat that kind of stuff, but like I said, I can't because of the moisture it causes.
Well, dude, I mean, I understand your point. I mean, you haven't had an actual real meal in like what, 4 years, 5 years?
I think the last time I actually ate was before I moved into this house.
Exactly. You've been there for over 3 years now, haven't you?
Right. Yeah, almost.
Uh huh. I don't want to rub it in, but I mean, I just finished dinner before. The missus who can, like I told you, flash fry a buffalo with a big lighter and a freaking roll of, tin foil. She made a pretty pimp ass meatloaf with vegetables and shit like that. It was absolutely delicious, man. But I'm sort of spoiled with her as far as eating is concerned. The fact that I can do it, and the fact that she can, God, freaking dude, Julia Child, it's got nothing on my girl. Um,
Right?
oh
Same
hell no.
here.
Now, if you give her a recipe, and even if you don't, if you give her an idea what's going on, she knows just enough to be dangerous. And after that, it's man. I mean, even myself, I used to love to cook with her, regardless of what we were doing. We were in the kitchen. She was a chef. I was a sous chef. I was also the cleaner upper guy. So if she needed prep on something, much like what you do with the little choppy chop things, you know, I prepped everything up, got it going for her, and then she would take the helm on all the rest of that stuff. She messed something up, I cleaned something up.
Pretty much
And
same.
together, we were a machine. Right hand wax on, left hand wax off. Story for another day with that one. Little Miyagi son right there, kid.
Yeah, it becomes like you have your certain jobs in the house,
Of course.
and that I mean, and one of them is cleaning up. We do it well.
Well, you talking about the fact that there's certain jobs in the house and everything along those lines. There's been a sort of misconception about guys being above actually cooking or doing I
Right.
see you running around with the little duster thing and stuff like that. Fuck all that noise. My attitude towards the man of the millennium is a man's that ready, willing, and prepared to do whatever is in front of him. Maybe today you're dusting. Maybe tomorrow you're digging a hole in the backyard. Maybe the day after that, baby girl's not feeling so good, so she needs a little TLC. No problem. Maybe the next day, you got a kid. The kid's diaper's got to get changed. You do that. Maybe the day after that, the oil in your car's got to be changed. Maybe the day after that, I don't know, the kid's got to go over here somewhere. Maybe the day after that, there's somebody trying to break in your freaking house. Okay? A man has to be able to do whatever it is that comes down the pipe.
You're right.
I cleaned my bathroom today. I'm not embarrassed to say that. You know why? You know who uses that bathroom? Me.
Yep, I'll run around and dust, clean. I don't give a shit. I mean,
Why should you? You live there.
exactly.
Dude, if you make the mess, you got to clean the mess up, unless, of course, you want to be a dirtbag. And if you want to be a dirtbag, keep walking. I got no time for you.
Just get it done, whatever it is. You're
Yeah,
right.
nah.
I mean,
You're a proof.
when there's something like I come out in the morning, I wipe down the counters. Most of the days, I'll grab the duster, run around the house, run the vacuum, do what I can do.
Seriously, dude, is it that difficult?
No.
Got the now, especially with those gay ass little Swifter things. Hit them with a little end dust, dude. It kicks ass. You know what I mean? And then you just run around. What? I mean, maybe you do 15, 20 minutes today. However, if you do that tomorrow and you do that the day after and you make that part of your routine, next thing you know, you're not a dirtbag. And it actually works out really well. I like not being a dirtbag. That works out really well for me. I mean, hey, I don't how you rock the boat. It's up to you, dude. But I've seen you whipping the duster thing around, the little vacuum thing. Dude, I'm from the same cloth, dude. I don't have like one of those little cheesy little things or whatever it is. I got to use like a real fucking tough guy vacuum
tough
cleaner.
guy,
It kicks my ass. It kicks my ass, but I like the ass whooping. I don't know what it is, dude. I'm sadomasochist in that way. It's like I believe that anything you're gonna do, if it's not beating the living crap out of you, maybe it's not all that much worth it. And when I'm done, everything looks all nicey nice. What takes Mare 10 minutes may take me a half hour. But that makes it so she can go outside and sit in the fresh air and sunshine. No, man, I'm not a big fan of having people wait hand and foot on me, dude. It does not work for me.
It's like when I cut potatoes. It may take her 5 minutes. It may take me a half hour. But I'll do that half hour of work.
No, of course.
I will
But
get
another
it
thing,
done.
we were just talking about exercise, and then we went into diet, and then we talked about doing some housework and stuff like that. However, I believe that yesterday we were talking about, was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. When you got your fat ass outside and got a little fresh air and sunshine.
Oh, yes.
If you're going to train, the effects of fresh air and sunshine are, you can't even really put a barometer on it, because just being outside, you're gonna, especially if you have the luxury of sunshine, but even so, direct actual daylight, vitamin D exposure, your body will take that in. It's the best source of vitamin D. I take supplements, but the best source of vitamin D. Fresh air. If you
Uh,
want to get into the whole breathing thing and stuff like that, maybe we'll do a video on breathing
yeah,
someday.
that's a. I'm actually learning all about that
Really?
and different things that, well, like the one that showed up in my mail. You
What?
know,
You got one showed up in your mail? Oh, okay. I yeah, you lost me there for a second, kid.
yeah, it's on my desk somewhere.
Mine's not. Mine's back in my. I keep mine by my bed. That's the first thing I do in the morning. I stuff that thing in my pie hole, and I do about a dozen breaths with that. I'll do sets of like three, But the what's that thing called? The expand along or a power long or something along those lines. It's the restrictive breathing apparatus, and it makes it so take a nice deep breath, diaphragmatic breathing, kids. Take a nice deep breath, do the count of three, count of four, and you take a little bit longer to actually blow that out. Which is if you don't breathe through your nose and you only use that, it's much more restrictive. So you actually have the power and use the intercostal muscles to actually make it so you can actually do it. And also, it engages the diaphragm, it
Yeah,
engages the intercostal muscles, and also I found that it innervates the vagus nerve, which comes down the neck and everything else like that. Which I don't know enough about that right now, but I will tell you this: next time we talk, I will. And that's it's also you know from doing the breathing out, and then if you do the whole thing, well, remember we talked about trying to suck your belly button to your spine,
yes,
which is one of the only ways you can really strengthen the transverse abdominis, which is the natural corset. Which, man, my shit ain't working, but not from lack of trying. I mean, it works pretty good, but it's breathing, and there's a lot of things in the world, Bo. There's a lot of things you can get high on whatever the hell you want to get high on. You can think that sex is the greatest thing ever. You can think that maybe making mad cash on Thursday is going to be great. But there's one simple fact of the matter that we know: the numero uno thing. Nothing beats breathing. Nothing beats without the breathing thing. You got nothing, kid.
you're not wrong.
Well,
They
hey,
told me, I remember being in ICU, and they're like, I don't think you're going to get off the vent. I was like,
oh no,
watch me.
no, I
Watch
hate this
me.
thing. I hate this thing. No,
Then they trached me twice. The trake's
oh
not
no,
coming out. Watch it come out. I'll make
oh,
sure it comes out.
oh, I hated that thing. I mean, anybody that hasn't been on a ventilator, and you let me know if I'm right or wrong on this one. Those short, controlled breaths, very rhythmic and very all the same and everything else like that. That whole
Yeah.
you only breathe in like the first third of your lungs, and then the breathing out, which I like I say, I don't know what the ventilator's doing there, because it stops pushing air into your lungs and your body just pushes it out. But
Yeah.
not only that, but the taste, that metallic taste, which I can think about it right now. Like, it's like having if you were a kid, you ever put change in your mouth, like pennies, dimes,
This
or
is
something like
exactly
that?
what it tastes like.
Yeah, it's a
Sorry
terrible,
about
that
that.
metallic ass taste. And then from there, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, it's just that chronic dry mouth. Like, yeah, yeah, it's just no, no. I'm out. I'm out. I no. No, 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 no.
Yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like. Waking up was on the vent. That was terrible.
You.
But it is 7:30.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here spacing out over here, bro. Um, uh, sorry for my tardiness, and I do apologize. I can't really read the chat right now, only because my brain just after the level of ass whooping I laid down on myself today, I can't even see shit. Not only that, hanging out with Knucklehead and fucking knocking down 3 or 4 beers was just like I don't think that's working for me either. But um, let me
Hopefully,
know.
next week we'll have maybe Gabe with us.
Have you spoken to him?
I have spoken to him. I'm hoping that um,
That guy's
he'll,
badass.
he'll be in either. I know that he wants to do it. So I'm just trying to figure out how soon he can. And yeah, Gabe's a great guy.
He's the toughest one out of us all. Dude, seriously, considering the situation my man has found himself in, his attitude alone is insane. I mean, seriously, when I start feeling like a piece of fucking, you know what I'm talking about. I get in touch with this kid, and he just looks at me and goes like this, basically, stop being a pussy. And I'm like, I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. It's just the kid is just killer.
And I look up to him because he's a busy man up here. He is a very busy man.
Oh shit. He does that day trading and shit like that. That's how he's funding his fucking. He wants to get out of there and get his own joint. My man is banking, man. I don't know how the hell he pulls off what he pulls off, but it's amazing the fact that he. But you talk to him.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can
figure it
get
out,
him on
man.
here soon.
But anyway, say your goodbyes, brother.
I love you guys,
Happy trails.
and I'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, but Angry Quad signing off. Sorry for my disposition today. I'll be better.
See you guys later.